This is probably my favorite story from my teen years. The most satisfying and just plain fun moment of mostly harmless revenge. Though, how we got here was less than harmless. I was not popular in high school by a long shot. I am in fact gay, trans and autistic, so I never had a chance. The autism had me getting bullied before I even figured out I was gay. I'm a dude now, but to give a better idea, at the time, I was seen more as the weird girl turned butch. I am willing to admit I wasn't really supposed to be at this party. The girl throwing the party was in the same friend group as me. But really the whole group hated me and just kept me around for laughs. Except one who was actually my friend. The party girl's family is a little weird, a bit cultish. They all live on a large chunk of land everyone else quietly calls the compound. Off the back of the compound is a massive area of forest with trails just wide enough for a truck to get down. Important for later, the truck would just barely fit on the trails. Moving too fast or taking turns too sharp would go off the trail and hit trees or rocks.
You look as if you
There
might
were only
be
a
able to
handful
help
of
with
places
the
the truck
problem
could
I
actually
have.
turn around
With all
to
the
head back
chaos
to the
in
compound
Kyoto,
without
bandits
looping
have
all
become
the way to
emboldened.
the back of the woods.
Attacks have increased.
The adults
Aren't you
were having
samurai?
their own party at
Why
one
would
of the
you need help
houses
from
in
me?
the compound.
There is
and
a
were letting the
long-standing
teenagers have
bitterness
their own
towards us
party
here.
at a house
Not
at the
without
very
reason,
back
I
of the
confess.
compound,
I am
close to
known
the
in
woods
Yamashiro.
and into the woods.
If I begin killing,
They weren't
it would be
all
seen
that
as
far
forcing
away.
order upon the
They
people.
were maybe
Would it be
half a
different
mile
if I
up
do
and
it?
across the road.
The people should
The
decide for
compound was
themselves if order is
genuinely a
needed.
horror movie
You are not
location.
known here.
It was
If
pretty
you
far
acted,
out.
it would not be
Far
misunderstood.
enough out
The
that
chaos
phone
brought by
signal
the
was lost
bandits
a few
causes
miles
great
down the
suffering.
road.
Some
Anyway,
order is necessary for
Me
the
and my
people's
friend got to
protection.
the party
I
an
see.
hour-ish before the sun
Then I will
started
take care
to
of the
set.
bandits to end the
The
people's
first
suffering.
round
Return
of
to
fun
me
in
when you are
spooky
done,
woods trails
so I
started.
might thank you.
The girl throwing the party didn't have her license, but she could drive and was driving a truck through the paths. The truck only actually had 2 seats in the cab, so most people were riding in the bed. It was actually a reasonable size and not one of the newer way to big trucks. So we went for the first round in the woods. A couple of decorations the girl and her friends had set up for scares. Nothing really important or actually scary. We headed back to the house and the parents lit the fire before heading over to the adults' party. The sun was starting to set and they went for another ride through the woods. The truck wasn't big enough for everyone to fit in the bed comfortably, and they left a few people behind, including me and my friend. We were hanging out by the fire and I don't even remember why, but those of us not in the truck went into the woods near the house. We stayed really shallow. When the truck came back through, we met with it in a decently clear area on the edge, if the woods, against a fenced-in field. Everyone was talking while I was hanging around the edges. The truck started to move again, and the girl thought it was funny to gas it at me. I moved, but she turned and did it again. I had been closer to the fence and darted across the clear area while she went after me and got into the woods so she couldn't follow. It was playful, but dangerous. I was kind of pissed, BCWTF. Anyway, I made my way back to the fire, staying in the trees because I was just pissed. When I got back, I realized they hadn't even noticed I didn't stick with the group and didn't notice me coming back. I could come and go without the group noticing. So the plan started. Me and my friend were the weird kids. She was like a closeted weird kid. And we had a hobby of climbing into trees and mimicking the local coyotes' calls so they would come over. I pulled her away and we started scheming. She didn't like them all that much either, so we got started. She pretended to head to the bathroom, and we snuck off deeper into the woods and started howling. We got our responses from the real coyotes, and they started to move across some of the fields and closer to the party. We got back, and they were a little uneasy about it. But coyotes are relatively harmless and never actually got close to us. It was just the first thing we came up with. and when we decided to go further, it really set the mood. I ended up deciding I wanted to do more to mess with them. I went back into the woods and moved the decorations around. My favorite one was I climbed a tree and balanced one on a branch. I don't remember what exactly I did, but when the truck came back through, it fell right on top of the truck cab and into the bed. Really, I just made it obvious that someone had been there. I don't entirely remember what all happened after that. I just remember it was fun. The truck went back out into the woods. And because there were almost no places to turn around, they had to make a full loop to the back of the woods to get out. On their way back out, I was in the woods and started to throw stuff at them. The girl driving got scared and gassed it too fast and ended up throwing the guy out of the truck bed. I chased him and he panicked and got lost, so I still made it back to the house before him. When I rejoined the party, he was still missing. They hadn't noticed that they threw him off and were trying to figure out when he jumped out of the truck bed and assuming that it had been him the whole time. He showed back up and I had to step away because I kept almost laughing. He looked like a mess. He had fallen into a thorn bush and ran through a bunch when I was chasing him. He looked legitimately scared. He had torn up his arms on the thorns and was bleeding a bit. Me and my friend left not too long after. The girl had gone to her parents and they hadn't called the cops or anything. I found out later the cult was more cultish than I thought, so they didn't want the cops around. My friend ended up telling them what really happened a few days later, and I got mixed reactions. Weirdly enough, the guy I had chased alone found it funny, while a lot of the others just thought I was weirder than before. Either way, I had fun. Only regret is that I couldn't target the host and a few of the others like I had the guy. He wasn't all that bad. His only crime was complacency. Still, fun.